When I was first incarcerated, I felt alone. I felt I was in a dark place. I felt like there was no way out. And I kept wondering to myself, how did I get here?
Going to prison, it's scary. You're there with just a bunch of bad people. When you try to prepare yourself, I can tell you firsthand that prison is nothing like they show you on lockup or anything else like that. I seen my world crashing in on me. I felt that I had let myself down, that I let my children down, that I let my family down. There's no words to describe how you feel when something like that happens.
Walking into the prison for the first time was very intimidating, demoralizing, degrading. It was scary. Never in my life did I wake up and say, hey, I think when I grow up I'm going to become a prisoner and spend the rest of my life behind bars. Yet here I was. And at that point in time I had to make a decision whether I was going to allow myself to become an institutionalized thinking type person and this be what the rest of my life was, in and out of prison doors, or whether I was going to be able to find something in here that could help me become the woman I needed to be that never had to come back in here again.
I was incarcerated for 15 years, 11 months, and 22 days. I'll just say 16 years. When I first went to prison, I went to Central Prison in Raleigh. We call it a wall, a 30-foot thick wall, 30 feet high, with the guard on top with a 30-30. All you see is concrete and sky. People always say you're a product of your environment, but you're a product of your choices you make. And I just became that person, like, of the streets. When I first walked into prison, you get off the elevator, the doors open, it's a long tunnel. Nothing but cement, and I'm looking on the tunnel like, how am I gonna get out of this here? You know, my heart beating, I was terrified, like, you know, and it was no getting out of that. It was like reality began to set in, like, I'm here for 16 years.
They give you 144 months, you think that's an entire lifetime. You think that you're gonna get thrown and locked away forever, and so at that point in time, I cried out to God and told him, this is all you. You gotta take control, you gotta lead me, you gotta guide me, because I cannot do this on my own. And only by your strength that I'm gonna get through this.
I could handle the time, but it was little things that I realized I wasn't the only one locked up. I wasn't the only one doing time. My mother was doing time, my children was doing time. You know, they was missing me. They was doing the time too. My oldest son, I'm mad at you, you left me. You know, they was telling me the truth. You left me. The choices I made, I left my son.
I think one of the biggest struggles in prison is that we are so down on ourselves. We feel like we failed ourselves, our family members and friends, and we just beat ourselves up. I think it's very important for someone to come on alongside of those who are in prison to help encourage them, to motivate them. We all make mistakes, but they make us stronger if we allow them.
When I first got at the Federal Correctional Institute, I went to the chapel and I seen that there was a Bible study. It's called CBS. So I decided, well, I should check it out. I just knew that I needed people to help me better myself with the walk that I was taking with Jesus Christ.
When the CBS volunteers first came in, I was very closed off to them. They kept coming back. And even though they could feel that closed off spirit in me, they didn't give up on me. I knew that I had a friend in them, someone that can encourage me, that I can ask questions, and they will point you in the right direction. So many times people give up on us, but they didn't give up on us. I believe Jesus Christ was telling me He was right there with me, that I was going to make it through stronger than ever before, just to keep pushing, don't give up, and don't give in.
The program that I was in at Hawkins Unit was called an APAL program, and that was when I was first introduced into CBS. All I was an inmate there that they had to come see and get their time done for the day and go back home. And I couldn't have been more wrong. These women came in with love in their heart. They saw through the white uniform and the black numbers on my chest. And they saw a soul within me that was yearning and aching to have somebody talk to them, show them God's love, and accept them for who they were, not for who they had been.
It was different in the chapel with CBS because there was a bond that was formed. You could really see that they cared for you. It was the best thing. I always looked forward for the days of CBS, get my stuff ready, because these people were dedicated, not because they had to, because they loved Christ just like you do.
As I read the word became alive to me. Once I began to learn who God was and the prompting of that spirit to listen, and when He speaks, that's when things begin to change in my life. And I can say that I can look in the mirror and say, I like who God has made me to become.
It showed me that it's very important to do individual study of the Bible study, then meeting together in a small group to discuss, because so many of us have so much to share and we get one answer, but we have different aspects of the answer, and it's very helpful with the small groups to discuss that, because you have a new way of looking at it with the same words.
Meeting the women I did, allowing community Bible study to become a part of my life has changed me to where I will never go back. I will never be who I was.
I think if the Lord is leading you to be a part of the prison ministry in any type of way, just continue to pray. Ask that He would decrease you and increase Himself in you. You know, try it out for a little while and then go from there, so you can have your own input on it, and you'll know once you go in there, you will feel the Holy Spirit and you won't want to leave. And the good thing about that is you do get to go home each and every day.
The impact that the outside CBS team has had on me, and that's had on a lot of people, you guys don't even know the effect. You guys can't even imagine what it does to somebody that's locked up. Seeing your guys' face, just interacting with you guys. If you have a chance, that would be a way to change somebody's life.
Just go in that one time and just get past that fear. He'll work on you as well as you'll see Him working in the individual.
So maybe somebody's watching this right now that's actually sitting there thinking, I would like to do this, but I don't know if I really want to walk into prison. If God's calling you to go into this place, God's going to protect you, and He's going to give you the courage you need to walk through those gates and touch the lives of those within. He's going to give you the words you need to say, and you can bet He's going to put a wall of protection around you that nothing's going to harm you.
You pray about sharing the word to make disciples in prison.
Would you pray about sharing the word to make disciples in prison?
Would you pray about sharing the word and make disciples in prison?